What if God was one of us? Now, that question is a great question for me to describe my experiences in spirituality, going from religious mindset into a spiritualist mindset. And through all of the different philosophies that I've entertained and subscribed to, they all have a kind of different version of expressing the Creator, God, we like to say. And I hate that word, God. You'll never catch me saying God without turning it into the Creator or something, because, well, there's a reason. God is but a word. God. God's just a word, but the divine Creator, the supreme ultimate, doesn't deserve a simple moniker like God, because it cannot be defined in any way. Okay, the Creator cannot be defined in any way. If you wish to understand the Creator, look at sacred geometry, look at mathematics, mathematical purity, you know? Close your eyes, close your ears, close your mind, breathe, feel ecstasy through breath. And know the Creator. Okay? You won't find it in a book. You won't find it from a priest. You won't find it from the priest class. Only you and you alone can know it. Only you and you alone must find the source of all information. Okay? I am not wise because I follow any one mentor. I am not wise because I read lots of books. I am wise because I empty my mind and I find the source from whence all came. You find the source and you won't need any middleman to tell you about the source. This is why it's important for you to be the saint. Why is it that the saints could contact God and have these communications with God, visionary experiences, in the ancient world, but not anymore? It's because these priests act as middlemen, and they say, once upon a time people could have these experiences. Can't anymore for some reason. Why? It's because the priests don't know what they're talking about, because they don't engage with the source. They just read books, and that's cool. And that, if you're happy with that, and that gets you to where you need, fine. However, don't for a second suggest that it's all, it's everything, because it's not. In fact, those who wrote the book, you know, I'm sure they were more in touch with it, but can we really rely on someone else's word on what is? Don't trust my word, and you won't hear them saying this, but don't trust my word. I suggest closing your mind and breathing all the way out, all the way in. So, close your eyes. Listen. Allow all the thoughts to come. Take your time, take hours. Allow whatever thought to come. Judgment, something you hate, someone you hate, someone you feel love for. There's a billion and one peculiar thoughts that happen when we try to empty our mind, and when you get through to that empty place and you're all alone, it seems, well, suddenly you feel not so alone. And when you think, you realise. And when you admit truth, you can cope. And you can say to yourself, well, that wasn't right, and that wasn't right, and what I was taught there wasn't right, and what I wasn't taught there. The priest said this and that isn't right. They said that homosexuality is a sin. They said homosexuality is unnatural. Well, nature made it. How could it be unnatural? God made it. The Creator made it. You're going to deny The will of the universe? How do we know the will of the universe? If 5% of the population is homosexual and the world is overpopulated, the world would be much more unpopulated if a certain percentage of the population wasn't homosexual. Perhaps it is nature's way of keeping things in check. Perhaps. We just don't know the will of nature, the will of the universe. Instead, we put our human flavours on it. Oh, I don't like the look of that. Oh, I don't like the look of that. But with enough saturation, you get used to it. You get used to anything. So, back to the point. What if God was one of us? So, first time I thought that, I thought about homeless people. You see, what if God manifested itself as something that you detest, just to play with you, just to test you? So you're walking along, happy as Larry, flicking a coin, and you see a homeless individual languishing in the gutter, trousers round their ankles, half drunk. They look horrible, detestable. A part of you wants to vomit on the spot. You think about talking to them and then you think, yeah, but if any of my friends see me, and if anyone on my street sees me, or in my work, listen, they're gonna think I'm friends with it. They're gonna think I go and smoke drugs and stuff with this person, seeing as that's the company I keep, you know? And so you walk straight past, happy, you know? But it was God. But it was God just playing with you. And you just walk past God and God was like, and you were like, and it turns out that the Creator disrespected. You disrespected the Creator. And that's why we're unhappy. That's why the universe treats us not as good as it could treat us. Perhaps. Another one. You're going for a job interview. And you're waiting in the foyer, in the lobby. And boy is it waiting. I mean, they're obviously playing with you. You've been waiting 15, 20. What's going on? But they're playing with you. And you know it. But you're going to sit there. And there's a cleaner ambling around. Old Asian guy. Old Chinese looking guy. You know. Sweet man. Mopping. You know. And a couple of times he kind of tries to start a bit of the conversation, you know. Hey, brush him off, man. I don't care about you. Whatever, mate. Listen, mate. I'm going for a finger? I'm going for a six-figure salary. I'm going for a six-figure salary. Why would I talk to a scumbucket like you, chap? You gotta be kidding. Anyway, time for your interview, sir. You get up there. Anyway, again, lo and behold, who walks into the room, sitting on the chair? Oh, it's the Asian geezer. The cleaner. The cleaner's the flipping CEO. They played you like a fool. And it's a healthcare position. And they wanted to see if you had some compassion, had some humility. Life is beautiful in its irony. Karma is the Indian concept of balance. How the universe commits justice upon us, law and order, through ironic, and it's always extremely hilariously ironic. That's how you know it's karma. The punishment that we get for our ill deeds is something. It's what we do to others. It will come back to us. And it's really ironic the way it does it. I wish I could think of an example offhand, but example of karma, instant karma? I can't think, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I've noticed one thing about karma, and probably won't agree with this, and it's a bit of a hard one anyway to really sell, but I almost feel like, many people who have screwed me over almost got their punishment in life before I was around, in a way, after getting screwed over from them, I thought, oh, I wish this had happened to them, wish that had happened to them. And I think to myself, actually, that did happen to them when they were younger, and that's why they're this screwed up. So there's a funny mechanism in that, isn't there? And we just must forgive others as if they're children, because we are just childlike with adult shells, and all our behaviours are made better through forgiveness, through forgiving them rather than beating ourselves up, putting ourselves into a cycle of self-hatred, beating myself up. Oh, I've got to feel better about myself. Okay, so I'll re-offend. Okay, I'll beat myself up. Oh, re-offend. Forever and ever. Hence why also the Indians believed that life is a cycle. All things are cyclic. We create hell of cycles. Self-destructive attitude, beating myself up, needing self-soothing, committing some sort of sinful action to feel better, feeling bad. There we go. What if God was one of us? So perhaps God is many things. Perhaps God comes in all things. Perhaps God is every living thing. What if God was in every living thing? Every ant, every beetle, every crow or pigeon, cat, dog, whale. What if it's that one that you walk past, that one that needs help? Just to play with you, just to see what you're worth, just to see what your moral fiber's worth, just to see if you are ticking away in there or you're just not paying attention. It's always testing us. The reality that we live in is always testing the worth of what we say and believe. If you really believed that, you'd do this. Oh, but you didn't. Well, you don't really believe it, do you? This is what life's like. Many people, they give me all the promises in the world, they fail them each time. If I bring them up to them, that they've done that, they get upset. But people, they will never see themselves. But I love them. And I forgive them. And I hope that anyone who lies or who cannot admit their own failings learns that there's no harm in doing so, honestly. Anyway, moving on. What if God was one of us? From there I believed in no God. I looked into Buddhism. It's not important. There are gods in Buddhism, but they're not important. Like, particularly in Tibetan Buddhism, which kind of originated from Tibetan animism. And then Buddhism came along, and then they co-opted all of their gods, demons, and interesting things into the philosophy. And that's fun. It's actually fun. But the gods aren't important, and what I enjoyed about Buddhism is the fact that it's non-dogmatic. There's no fire and brimstone. You can pick anything up, take whatever you want. It's like a library. We don't need your membership. And if something works for you, serves you, an action here, meditation, let's say, affirmation, take it. It's fine. But it's not necessary. Many things aren't necessary. Origin stories aren't necessary. Punitive regions of existence like hell aren't necessary. Because we create hell in our own lives. We create hell in our own existence. We create heaven in our own existence. These are all things that we create for ourselves in our own universe, as we are the creator of our own conditions. So why do we create such hellish conditions for ourselves? It's because we know how to learn and how to teach ourselves. And we have to do that through suffering, and we know that. So we do it. And we get through to the other side and we feel better. So that's what we do. From the Buddhist understanding, I looked into Taoism. Taoism is interesting because it mentions Tao, or way, in Mandarin. The Tao means the way of... The Tao is the way of the universe's way. It's kind of the nature... the nature of the universe. The universe's nature. The way of the nature of the universe. Something like that. You can't say Tao is God. It's simply how the universe operates. If we witness and observe how the universe operates, we can move in alignment with it, in the flow of it. We must not resist the universe and the passageway that we find ourselves on. Sometimes we feel like we have to resist in order to survive, but we must surrender to the program, surrender to the experience. Hard for men to surrender, very hard for men to surrender, for anyone I guess. Hard to surrender to being wrong, hard to surrender to the universe, hard to surrender your armour, your guard. But if we guard against everything, we guard against the good things too, and we won't feel the good. If we walk around with headphones in our ears, we won't hear the good things people say about us. We won't hear the bad things, but we won't hear the good things either. And there's more good going on than bad. I promise you, every day there's 100 good things that happen. It takes one to spoil the whole feeling, spoil the whole party, you know? But positivity reigns. Positivity reigns. We just... One little bad incident and we feel, the world's gone, it's full of doom. Apocalypse is nigh. The end is not nigh. The end of what serves you no more is nigh. And what serves us is just around the corner. A new life, a new time. Check me out, I'm going on. So the Tao is really interesting. It's not the God, it's something else. It's sort of like the will of God in a way, or the behaviour of the unknown without knowing it. You know, it's just observing it and acting in accordance with it. If you really want to know what the Tao is, it can't be known. That's the beauty of it, that's the fun of it. The Tao that can be known, this is Lao Tzu quote, is not the true Tao. The Tao that can be known is not the ultimate Tao. Because it changes in everything, in every manifestation, in every second, it manifests itself differently. Okay? Nearly 40 years ago, it manifested into me. It manifested me as it. At some point, it manifested this plant. At some point, this one. And that one. It manifests itself in all forms, in all of the seconds. That's why it has no form. That's why it's not a man. It's all things. It changes so often. So, what can I say about God? God is a demiurge. This was the next one. Gnostic belief. So, the universe is an illusion. That's something that we got from India. Let's say from Hinduism, Buddhism. Illusory reality. Understanding that our experience is like a dream, it's an illusion. There is another experience out there more than this. There are other experiences beyond this. We can see it because of the cycles that we witness in our lives. The cycles, the negative cycles, as I mentioned, these cycles that perpetuate themselves. through negativity. So, early Christians, they believed in many gods, too. It's only modern Christianity that does. And so we believed that, in fact, Yahweh was the demiurge. What was it? Jehovah, as the devil. Now, no disrespect to anyone, no disrespect to any Christians. This is simply Gnostic theory, philosophy, dating back to the time of Jesus. So we're just going to fearlessly examine it. We don't need to throw up any defences. We're just fearlessly going to examine it. All our philosophies have the right to be examined, by the way. I love how Buddhist monks have a sort of formal arguing time where they pair up. There's hundreds of them. They pair up. One will sit down, the other will stand up. They're all hanging out under the trees. And one will be like berating the other one. And the guy on the floor has to justify their position on everything. And we should do that, because we can't justify anything. We think that if anybody questions us, they're wrong. If anyone questions our moral fibre, questions our beliefs, they're wrong. No. If our beliefs are justified, they can stand on their own 2 feet. And if they're not right, we reject them, we find something better. Oh, I can't reject it because all my friends. I can't reject it because what will people think of me? I don't care. You can be wrong and enjoy the rest of your life. And please come back to the truth and the light. God bless you. For you will see the light. You will crave it. You will need it. You will be drawn towards it. The moth that you are. We are all just moths to a flame. And so, the Gnostic belief is that God is kind of an illusion. Sorry, God creates reality as an illusion. And so if reality is an illusion, that means that something else exists. And youngsters. So, reality. What did I say about forgiving the behaviour inside of you because it's a child? Flipping children try and throw a stick at me right now. So that's cool. Got that in my head. Well, you missed, you punk. And I forgive you, and you need to forgive yourself. The universe is a fun place, man. I didn't need it. You didn't need it. Does it have to ruin my day? No. Those kids were about 11. The temptation to find them and whack them on the head with a stick exists. It exists, man. But I let it go. If I can let such a silly thing go, what can you let go of? Let go of it, my friend. Let go of it. So where was I? The demiurge. It hurt me really badly to believe that the universe was the demiurge because I ended up believing that the universe was trying to get me. It was trying to push me under. Now, if I continued to believe that, I would believe that those kids were sent by the demiurge to ruin this video. But that isn't true. If you try hard enough, you'll find that to be true. If you really, really, really want it to be true. Yeah. Yeah, you will. But it won't serve you. I believed for a long time, and it brought me to the very edge, that the universe was conspiring against me. When that isn't true. Do you want to know the truth? This is a beautiful place, and the universe is conspiring that I came here to a beautiful place to bless you on this day. I bless you, I love you. How can I make it better? How can I help you? I'll help you by we're going to let it all go. We're going to surrender to life. We're going to let it happen. We can't fight it. We can't win. We can't lose. We can just be. Don't panic about the future. Freaking out because you expect it's going to happen forever and ever and ever. Don't freak out about the future. Don't worry about the past. Just focus on now. Focus on the sound of water hitting water. Focus on the feeling of water. If you can't hear, then focus on the feeling of water. Focus on positivity, focus on good things, focus on giving and loving. Give us love, and we'll give you love. Doesn't matter who you are, or anything. So, how did I come to terms with the universe being malicious? An illusion that, because I'm speaking out against it, it wants to consume me. It wants me to consume myself. How did I get to a good place with that? Forgiveness and understanding. This is a combination of Christianity and Buddhism right now. I forgive it and I recognize its Buddha nature. I forgive it because I know that it is a vulnerable thing concealing its vulnerability in illusion, like us all. It is but a child. We can't be angry with it, otherwise we're angry with a child. And that's what it doesn't, it won't respond well to us if we're just angry with it. It gives us the anger that we anger it with. It gives us the anger that we are angry with it. You see? We have to love our universe. It is a child of Buddha nature. In Buddhism, there is the understanding that if you peel away all the layers underneath, there is the purity of divinity, the pure spark, the shining light of divinity. If you take away all the layers, originally we start in that place. We start in that place. But everything we learn takes us away from that. Everything we learn, we sort of unlearn our divinity. We learn prejudice, we learn, favoritism, self-identity, all of these things. It's not wrong to have a self-identity, but, So we have to love an illusory reality like a child that conceals its heart, its behaviour, its identity. We have to love it. And that's where I'm at the moment. It isn't a word, God. It isn't a man. It isn't a woman. I forgot one thing. There's a point where I recognise the reality as female through Ishtar, the goddess. But ultimately I don't believe that any one divinity can be any one gender, because genders represent duality. So that's about it. Need to wrap it up now. But peace and love. We're in it together. We're going to make heaven on earth through selflessness, through good deed every day, or whenever we can manage it, in any way Even if it's just giving us someone the time of day, or a recognition, validation, giving a crow a piece of bread, or a pigeon, or a fish, helping something, helping the world. If we all help, it'll be a better world. If we all hinder, it's going to be a worse world. If we're all selfish, it's going to continue the way it is, a trajectory towards hell of our own making. So let's contribute to heaven on earth and have an open mind about the Creator, who doesn't mind what we believe. It just loves us. I can't help saying he, even after all of that. Funny we are. Creatures of habit we are. So anyway, I love you. I love God. I love the God inside you. You and I, there is one entity which observes each other. From behind our eyes sits one mind. One mind, one heart, one love, my man. One love. Peace!